Being that all the gyms are closed, a lot of people may have done a lot more running outside than they usually do, so I'm going to take you through some stretches that are good for runners. Coming to you from the art studio, have some original artwork in the background there. But first, let's come into child's pose. All right. So your knees can be together, just relax it back on your heels, really reach your arms forward, stretching your fingers wide and long, but still keeping your shoulders pulling away from your ears. As you inhale, feel your lower back fill, then your middle back, then your upper back. And as you exhale, everything relaxes in the opposite direction. You should feel a stretch in your lower back and your lats. One more full breath here. Now walk your hands to the right side on the floor and take 3 full rounds of breath. And walk your hands to the left side. 3 full rounds of breath here. All right, coming back up into center. You can do a couple cat-cow poses. So for starters, in the tabletop position, hands right under your shoulders, knees under your hips, shoulders pulling away from your ears, abdominals pulling into your spine. All of that stays the same as you inhale and curve up. Exhale, round. Inhale, curve up. Exhale, round. Right here, really let the crown of your head fall to the floor. Inhale up. Exhale, round. All right. Okay, now we're going to sneak into downward dog. So you can watch a time or two. From this child's pose, take your chest, belly, pelvic bone, slide onto the floor, come into upward dog. You're on the laces of your shoes here, or if you're barefoot, the tops of your feet. Then you can roll over your toes into downward dog. So again, if we start in child's pose, just slide onto the floor like a snake into upward dog. Roll over your feet into downward dog. We'll do that 4 more times. So inhale, slide forward into upward dog. Hold here, shoulders pulling down away from the ears. And roll over your toes into downward dog. Hold here for a moment. Knuckles pressing, thumb pads pressing. Upper arms rotating laterally. Abdominals pulling in. Crown of the head reaching to the floor while your tailbone reaches toward the ceiling. All right. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, upward dog. Just getting some mobility in the spine. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And just one more time. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And you can pedal out your feet here to stretch out your calves. Again, making sure your shoulders are pulling away from your ears. And go ahead and walk your feet into your hands. Roll on up. And we'll do a few spinal rolls. So, one vertebra at a time, you'll imagine lifting up and over a big ball with your abdominals pulled in tight. And you'll drop the crown of your head, drop your shoulders, bend your knees if you need to come to the floor. Straighten the legs. Then sit down in an imaginary chair with your abdominals in tight. One vertebra at a time rolling up. Head is the last thing up. We'll do that a few times. So right now, feet are just hip width distance. Let's do a roll down. Really contracting the abdominals. And roll up. One more time this way. And roll up. Now see what it feels like to turn your legs out and step a little wider. So, chin to the chest. Upper abdominals contract, shoulders relax forward. And come down to the ground. You can squat down a little bit, sending your knees out laterally. Straighten the legs again. And roll up. One more time, curving forward. When you reach the ground, squat down, straighten the legs, roll up. Now ready for a side stretch. Inhale and exhale. Inhale up, exhale side. 4 more of these. Now we're going to add a squat, some hip mobility to this. So inhale up, exhale straight side. As you squat down, your knees and your upper legs rotate behind you. Yeah? As you straighten the legs, reach even further, feel more of a side stretch. Shoulders still pulling down away from your ears, and we'll switch. Straight lateral side stretch, squat down. As you straighten the legs, reach more, and come up. One more time each side. And we're going to add on to that. So, this time when you lean straight to the side, you'll then rotate your shoulder, your hip, your foot towards your standing foot, so to speak. So both shoulders are pointing in the same direction, hips in the same direction, both your feet are pointing in the same direction. With that lead arm nice and tall, torso nice and long, just rotate forward at the hips, find a flat back, take a couple breaths here with a nice long flat back, and then all the way down into a hamstring stretch. Still keep your abdominals engaged here, but allow your head to totally relax. Imagine water dripping from the back of your head onto the floor. And keep the breath going. Full breath in, full breath out. From here you can go into runner's lunge for hip flexor and quadricep stretch. If you flatten that back foot on the floor, lower the knee, and reach up, you might feel a nice release in the hip flexor as well. And then for more of a quadricep stretch, you can reach behind you with the opposite arm. There you go. Good idea to hold at the ankle here. If you hold at your toes, you may be sickling your foot without realizing it. So try to hold at the ankle. And we'll unwind and go to the other side. So start with the hamstring stretch with a flat back, lift up and rotate forward. We're ready for the other side. Inhale up, exhale, side stretch. Rotate everything the other direction, shoulders, hips, feet facing the same direction. Lean forward into the flat back so you can feel that stretch at the top of your hamstring and all the way down to the floor. Hamstring stretch. This angle will also open the joint where the hip meets the sacrum a little bit. And again, abdominals are engaged and the breath is full and slow. And you can come into runner's lunge. So you can repeat this or do this on your own. For warm-up, dynamic movement is good with a little bit of pulsing, shorter stretches. If you're doing this to release tension and increase flexibility, you want to hold every stretch for at least 30 seconds. Even a minute is not overdoing it. Yeah. You can bring that knee down, top of the foot to the floor, reach up. Abdominals still engaged here, so you don't crunch your lower back. And then reach that opposite arm behind you to grab the ankle for more of a quadricep stretch. The last thing I'll have you do is a leg swing. Really loosens up the hips. It massages the nerves in the hip socket. It also stretches the lower back. So simply lie on your back with your legs bent. In slow motion, if we start with our right leg, your leg will extend, your big toe brushes the floor the whole time, and then use your core to help rotate you. And when your leg swings in the other direction, your baby toe will be on the floor the whole time. So the foot's touching the floor the whole time. And use inertia. You don't want to use the muscles in your legs. Your legs totally relaxed. So you swing and swing. And inhale and exhale. And swing, swing, swing. I've already gotten a lot of nice back cracks since we've been doing this. 3, 4, 5. One more time each side. Bring the legs to center. All right, let's do a practice run with the left leg. So left leg straightens the big toe, brushes the floor towards your right hand, and then the little toe brushes the floor towards your left hand. So like a pendulum, swing and swing. Breathe in, breathe out. So when we upload this video, we can only upload a certain number of minutes, so it's quite short. If you were doing this on your own, again, if you want to increase flexibility, decrease tension, you want to do everything for 30 seconds to a minute. If it's a warm-up before a run, it can be a little more dynamic and you can hold the stretches for a shorter period of time. All right, enjoy.